Showtime, freaks!
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition.
I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
In a world where wokeness seems to control every narrative, a world where the average Joe is expected to apologize for just being a guy, comes a show where testosterone reigns supreme, where manliness knows no bounds. Prepare yourselves for a podcast unlike any other. TJ Michaels and John Stacy invite you on a roller coaster ride of machismo on the Alpha Men Podcast. Meet TJ Michaels, whose ideas are as wild as his bushy goatee, and John Stacy, whose confidence is as big as his biceps. They love and respect the women in their lives, but here they're on a quest to celebrate the essence of manhood. The Alpha Men tackle the big questions like, is it acceptable to cry during an action movie? Can a man survive on jerky alone for a week? And if a man builds a DIY project and doesn't post about it on social media, did it really happen? These dudes leave no stone unturned. Get ready for a podcast that's part comedy, part camaraderie, and all things manly. The ladies have their view, but these guys have their brew. The Alpha Men Podcast is presented by
Ohana Sports Cards on Facebook.
For incredible card breaks and more, go to OHANA Sports Cards on Facebook. By Garage Door Commander, online at garagedoorcommander.com. Produced by TJ Michaels Creative, narrated by Jamie Dennis, and dedicated to Hendrik the Viking Poulsen. 2024, all rights reserved. The Alpha Men Podcast is rated M for maximum manliness. Here are your hosts, live from the granite capital of the world, Barrie, Vermont, TJ Michaels. And he, from the heart of NASCAR country, Trinity, North Carolina, John Stacy. This is the Alpha Men Podcast.
And welcome in, you sick, twisted freaks. The Alpha Men Podcast, Season 4, Episode 9 from the granite capital of the world. My name is TJ Michaels. My partner in crime from Trinity, North Carolina, John Stacy is here. Tell everybody that joke you just told me. Go ahead, tell him. Tell him.
What joke?
Tell him the joke that you just told me.
That's awkward.
You want me to tell him the joke you just told me?
Sure.
Why didn't Helen Keller drive?
I don't know. Oh, I don't know.
You just said this joke to me. He goes, why didn't Helen Keller drive? And I go, because she was blind. And he goes, no, because she was a woman.
That's messed up. You set me up on that one. Hey, I'm over here taking my medicine, okay?
Okay.
I'm getting old.
You are getting old.
Vitamin D.
What does that do?
Doc said I need to take it, so I take it.
Okay. All right. It is a Tuesday night. Lots happening this past weekend. The Pope laid to rest over the weekend. I don't know if did you watch any of that?
I saw some of it. I didn't watch sit there and watch a bunch of it, but it was
still didn't sink as low as Shedora Sanders. I mean, it just. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that was just the Titanic of the NFL.
Oh, awful.
Kept sinking and sinking.
Meanwhile, 170 heads of state attended the funeral. Vladimir Zelensky. He wore his best quarter zip fleece. You know, it was nice.
Yeah.
But still no pope yet. We still don't have a new pope. Officials.
How long do they have it to do it? Like 21 days or something?
I don't know. The officials at the Vatican say they're taking their time because poping ain't easy.
Poping ain't easy.
Just saying. We got to thank our presenting sponsor, Ohana Sports Cards on Facebook. Incredible card breaks, sports memorabilia. It's Ohana, OHANA. It means family, and that's how they treat you over at Ohana Sports Cards. Ohana Sports Cards on Facebook. We've got a great show for you tonight. Wherever you may be watching or listening, Facebook Live, Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, iHeart, Spotify. We're everywhere. Just click that like button. Hit the subscribe button and share the podcast. We're building a brotherhood here, and we want you to be a part of it, okay? This, my friends, is Season 4, Episode 9 of the Alpha Men Podcast.
And now, Mansplaining the News.
started yet. Go.
Good evening. Here's what happened this week. President Trump told Time magazine he wants to send violent Americans to foreign prisons. This is really going to kill attendance at Raiders games.
Wow.
Baltimore, Maryland named the dirtiest city in America this week.
Shit, they haven't been to Portland, have they?
I don't know. It's not surprising. It does have a reputation for being a really great place to catch crabs. So,
That's figured out.
a judge this week delayed a hearing and sentencing for Eric and Lyle Menendez to May 9th, which means they still might not get home in time to celebrate Mother's Day. Just
Dude. That's harsh.
that might be too soon, huh? Yeah. Tariffs have caused DHL to stop delivering packages this week to the U.S. that are valued above $800. On the bright side, if you forget a Mother's Day gift, you can just tell your mom you got her something really nice, but you just stuck in transit. Walgreens has to pay $350 million as part of a new settlement for filing invalid opioid prescriptions. And listen, here's the deal. If they can afford to lose that much money, why can't you leave the deodorant aisle unlocked?
A lot of stuff's getting locked up lately, I
Just
noticed.
crazy. It's nuts. A new study finds married men 3 times more likely to be obese, which is another way of saying sex burns calories. All right.
Yeah, facts.
FDA ruled this week that it will ban the use of artificial dyes in food by the end of 2026. So I hope you like those gray M&Ms. They're just they're going to be out there.
Was that like a prize at one point, finding the
I think so.
full bag of gray M&Ms or whatever it was?
Yeah. Experts say gossiping this week may be good for you. But hey, listen, you didn't hear that from me. Experiment was launched. That was cheap. Experiment was launched by the European Space Agency this week to see if food can be grown in space from individual cells. But no one has high hopes for the outcome since Katy Perry and Gail King aren't involved. So it's probably worth.
The true astronauts of the space.
True astronauts. A federal judge said this week that Google operates a monopoly. For more information on that story, please visit Google.
That's wonder why there was 2 Google pictures there.
In showbiz news, there's a Toys R Us movie in the works.
Right.
It's about lost toys who try to return to their store only to find it's now a spirit Halloween.
Oh, that's messed up. It's childhood memories right there.
Johnny Depp's new movie is called Day Drinker. It's going to be in theaters soon. Being a method actor, he prepared for the role. He studied Johnny Depp.
Studied Johnny Depp.
Paris Hilton says she wants her media company to be like the next Disney. I can kind of see it, After all, I mean, Donald Duck is famous for not wearing pants. And
Oh, boy.
There's new evidence that Elizabeth Hurley is dating Billy Ray Cyrus. Yesterday, she changed her relationship status to desperate. Yeah.
I don't know who that is. I know Billy Ray Cyrus is.
Elizabeth Hurley?
I'm not placing it right now.
Anyway. Pop star Chappell Roan says Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette is the album that made her gay. But there's no way she's the only woman who ever went lesbian because of Dave Coulier. Just saying.
Oh, boy.
Dave Coulier was a bad man when it comes to Alanis Morissette. That's just all there is to it.
Really?
She also realized she was gay when she bought a Subaru. But in any case. Ryan Gosling's last one, Star Wars movie, will be called Starfighter. and they are beginning casting right now. I don't know. I would have gone with like the Manly Dorian. That would have been a better choice.
Manly Dorian.
Manly Dorian.
I can't see him being a Star Wars type of person. I mean, he's a good action guy, but
I can't see anything Star Wars being successful because they have managed to screw the poop on that $9 billion investment every single time.
yeah.
You know, the most successful franchise in movie history, and they can't do anything with it. But
How many they got? How many movies now? Like 10 of them?
I think there's in the neighborhood of 12 now, if you count all the other things. Like there's a solo movie and there's a prequel movie, and yeah, that's been splitting the news this week on the Alpha Men podcast.
Beers on tap, and sometimes we drink stuff we're not proud of.
All right, we go to the Evil Knievel beer fridge, and I don't know. I think I've had this before, but I'm not quite sure.
I don't remember.
But I saw it and it looked new, so I got it.
It's all age memory.
It's Legentis. It's called Little Something Something. It is a smooth and silky IPA made in Petaluma, California. And 7.5 ABV. So crack this thing open. And
I have a Mexican beer.
okay.
It's called Vicky's.
Is there a tariff on it?
Probably. It's all in Spanish, minus the word Vicky. 3.5% alcohol.
Wow.
And it's Chamoni. That's all I can tell you. I don't know anything else beside it. Peak from Clad's Gaming Center console. Got it. And
all right.
We're going to see how this goes. It's got really good reviews.
I like this Legentis.
Oh, it smells like
3.5 though. That's less than a regular domestic beer.
It smells like the V8.
Oh, I bet you that's like a beer that's got like tomato something in it.
Ooh. It's like a beer flavored V8. It's got a little spice to it too. That is so fucking different. I've never had a beer like that.
Vicky's.
Yeah.
Vicky's Chamoy.
I'm going to read the description. Let me pull it back up. Vicky's Chamoy beer. I looked it up a little bit ago. Flavored beer that is Chamoy beer with authentic Mexican flavor. A spiced beer crafted with Victoria Cervez and a classic flavors of tomato, apricot, lime, chili peppers, and pyramid.
There you go.
This uniquely Mexican beer is delicious as well balanced. It's a lager beer that also blends sweet, salty, spicy, and sour notes. This canned beer is great for pairing with favorite Mexican dishes, Latin food, or spicy snacks. It's definitely different.
Okay. I don't know that I want that, but I recognize that some people may like that. It's like a Bloody Mary beer.
It is, but it's not thick like a Bloody Mary. It's man, I'm on the fence. I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna give it a 4, 3.5, 3.8. It's a weird one.
This Legentis, little something, really smooth, really easy drinking, really nice IPA, really nice finish. I'm going 4.5 on this. I like this a lot. 4.5 out of 5. You'll find it wherever you buy beverages. We'll get this little something.
Look at this is pretty good beers.
Michelle says Star Wars horse is dead. They need to stop beating it. Yeah, you're right about that. Or at least tell a real story that people want to see. You know, and not, hey, the spaceship's running out of gas, and here's the Senate. You know, anyway, it's crazy. I'm going 4.5. You're going 3.5.
3 and 8. 3.8.
3.8.
It's a weird one, so I'm gonna give it a weird number.
That's beers on tap this week. on the Alpha Men Podcast.
It's time for the Tuesday Night Tussle.
See, I like this segment. I like to see haymakers being thrown.
Yeah, I threw it. I mix it up because I like the dire ones, people being stupid, but this definitely has some good stuff in it.
Mm-hmm.
So I found some real freaking kicks to the face. I mean, just knockouts. So it's about 45 seconds of just people getting, whew, it's gnarly.
They're so even on total strikes at the moment.
Chance and knocked out their way to bring down the curtain seats. Second to none. Mike's out from the stand. Another speed around change.
Puts it on the canvas. Físico 37 años. We know. A minute gone by round 2.
That's it. But
dude, that sport is deadly, man. You know, it's one thing in boxing to have your guard up and to see something coming and block it. But man, when somebody roundhouse kicks you and it's coming from another direction and you don't see it till the last second, good night, Irene.
It's insane how they'll throw a punch and then flip the body around and just kick him with the heel. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's some talent. That's some hard work and dedication right there. Something I do not have when it comes to fighting. I'm like Brock Lesnar. I'm the first 30 seconds to a minute, I'm going to fight like hell, then I'm tired.
And then he's out of breath.
Yeah, out of breath and tired.
Everybody got an oxygen tank around here?
So if I don't get you in the first minute, it's over for me.
That's Tuesday Night Fights on the Alpha Men Podcast.
TJ's Tales from the Old Couch.
Listen, on the other side of this camera, there's an old couch. Wife wanted me to send it curbside years ago. I couldn't. It's comfortable. Brought it up here to the podcast studio. I like to come up here and sit on it and think. And this week, I'm thinking about a buttload of generational squabbling that I hear every single day going on. And look, I don't care if you're an old fossil like me or still wet behind the ears. Maybe I noticed lately there's this never-ending pity party that's going on out there. Now, look, older folks like John and I, and I'll put you in that category because you're officially there.
Yeah.
We love to complain about the kids these days who couldn't survive 5 minutes in 1980 without crying for a Wi-Fi signal.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right? But on the flip side, the young bucks are over there whining about boomers who can't figure out how to unmute themselves on a Zoom call without a priest and 2 IT guys standing next to them. And they may have a point. All right? It is a beautiful, stupid circle of life, and we're all here for it. But I do have to tell you, this week they released a study about capabilities in Generation X.
Yeah.
And you can call me all you want. You can call me boomer all you want. There are common things that I am shocked that Generation X and Generation Z are incapable of doing. Like reading a clock with hands on it, counting change, reading Roman numerals, all things that are absurdities that stick out, but it goes a lot further than that. How about reading a map without GPS? You know, back in the day, if you didn't know north from south, you didn't call Uber. You died.
Facts.
All right. And now you got kids spinning in circles at the convenience mart screaming, I lost the blue dot. I lost the blue dot. It's crazy. Apparently, on this study, addressing a piece of mail is now a thing. Apparently, putting a stamp on an envelope is now considered a high-level achievement, like splitting an atom or something. All right? It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean YZ because we're your X. That's what
right.
I thought.
Unclogging a toilet with a plunger. Now listen, son.
Nice picture.
Son, if you can't work a plunger, you deserve every ounce of your humiliation. Okay? Call it natural consequences of living on Hot Pockets and Starbucks. I don't know, but for the love of God, it ain't that hard. Mending clothes and sewing on a button.
Yeah.
Kids today, they rip the button. They're ready to throw out the whole damn shirt like it's radioactive.
Mm-hmm. I agree there.
Learn to stitch, princess. I mean, come on.
My daughter got a sewing kit for Christmas. She wanted it, so.
Cooking. Boiling water is now a multi-stage crisis. Boiling water. And if it doesn't come frozen in a microwave safe, half of them are ready to starve to death like they're on the Oregon Trail. Basic handyman skills. And I'm not talking about building the space shuttle here. Just changing a damn light fixture. You know, meanwhile, some kids call him TaskRabbit because his IKEA lamp blinked twice. Writing a check. I tried explaining a checkbook ledger to my 22-year-old, and she looked at me like I was trying to explain witchcraft. Okay. It's pretty easy. Yeah. Using a manual can opener.
That was funny. I had to do that a few weeks ago.
Why doesn't it have a button? Because you're the button, Skippy. Okay? Writing in cursive. I mean, at this point, cursive might as well be ancient hieroglyphics.
Yeah.
You know? You could hand them the Declaration of Independence, and they would think it's a French restaurant menu. I mean, it's crazy. And finally, driving a stick shift. If you handed half these kids a car with a clutch, they'd treat it like it was a ticking bomb. That's all there is to it. So look, every generation thinks the one after it is soft or stupid, and every young punk thinks the old guys are out of touch and one breath away from turning to dust. The truth is, we're both right. Right? Kids today couldn't find their own butts with two hands and a flashlight. And as boomers, we're still trying to figure out why our TV remote now has 3 different Netflix buttons. And you know what? That's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So sit down, zip it, learn what you can from each other. For the love of God, somebody teach these kids how to plunge a toilet before all of civilization collapses.
Change a tire.
Yeah. Yeah.
Use a power tool. There's a million lists. I mean, I can't think of it off the top of my head right now, but I mean, going for a car ride, the kids. My kids need to have their phone.
Mm-hmm.
We used to sit in the back seat and told them to shut up and look out the window.
We gave each other bruises playing punch buggy.
Yes.
That was our cell phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
We used to be left alone for hours on end, and now they just hover around us nonstop.
Michelle writes, I don't remember hating on old people when I was young the way young ones seem to do it these days. You're right about that, too.
Very true.
You're right about that. That's Tales from the Old Couch this week. Get out of here now. Get a map and a can opener. And remember, life ain't going to come with Wi-Fi and Uber Eats when the real apocalypse begins. Just remember that. All right?
Mm-hmm. I tell my kids all the time. Is that it?
That's it.
Oh, I usually wait for you to say Alpha Man Podcast, blah, blah, blah. Goodbye.
Alpha Men Podcast is proudly sponsored by Ohana Sports Cards, where you will find awesome card breaks from baseball, football, racing, basketball, and much more. They will treat you like family at Ohana Sports Cards. You can find them on Facebook for all your sports card breaks, card consignments, and even grading sports card service. Check them out on Facebook at Ohana Sports Cards. Alpha Men Podcast.
We present the case. You deliver the verdict. This is Mancord. All rise.
Guys, the sometimes honorable TJ Michaels presiding.
All righty, man court back in session tonight. If you've got a problem that needs solving, you can visit any of our social media pages and drop your man court dilemma in a DM. And you can also join the freak jury tonight just by commenting wherever you're watching from. Give our plaintiff your advice in the comment tab. And let's dive into tonight's case, docket number 250429. Our plaintiff is Kevin from Angola, New York. And it is the case of the fuss around the lady that drives my kid's bus. All right?
All right.
He writes, TJ and John, I'm writing you on a man court topic that I hope you can answer for me, or at least, very least, see what the freak jury thinks. My name is Kevin, and I've been watching the Alpha Men podcast for almost 2 seasons now. Very good, very good, very good. And while I've never done anything like this before, I'm really hoping you'll shoot straight with a single dad who needs some dating advice. Here goes. How do I ask my kid's school bus driver out? Here's the lowdown. My 7-year-old daughter takes the bus, and all of her previous bus drivers have been old, unattractive sea hags who I've never blinked an eye at. That was until this past week when she got a new bus driver who is an incredibly beautiful woman. I'm 35, and I'd say the driver is in her late 20s. She's super nice, and my daughter loves her a lot already. When I bring her to the bus stop, the driver and I talk for a minute in the morning, and then we chat at drop-off, and I'm completely smitten with her. I find myself getting dressed nicely for the drop-off and pickup. I even put cologne on the other day, even though she can't smell me from 10 feet away. I wanted to ask her out so bad, but I don't know if it's a big mistake. How do I ask out my daughter's bus driver? What should I do? Also, do I find out if she's single? She doesn't wear an engagement ring. Would it be weird to have my daughter ask her if she has a boyfriend? It's not beneath me to use my daughter to help me pick up women, LOL. Oh, God.
Smart.
Any suggestions on how I can pull this off? Is the juice worth the squeeze, as they say? Signed, Kevin. In Angola, New York. All right. Freak jury, hit the comments with your advice for Kevin. Baby Huey, your thoughts?
Get on the bus. Hope it's not a short bus. Just get on the bus. You got to take a shot. I mean, time's ticking. That's my thought. Just you got to go bold or go hold. And next time, if she says no, just stay in the car next time instead of walking the kid to the driveway.
All right. So just back the testosterone off for a second, okay? I find it odd that we're this committed to this after 1 week, okay? It's almost like we're setting up a wedding, all right? Ron says go for it, okay? Boy. Here we go. While other dads, I just want to make sure I have this right. While other dads are wearing stained sweatpants and looking like they lost custody of their souls, you're suiting up like James Bond, right? At a damn suburban street corner. I got to tell you, Kevin, that's effort. Okay? We do call that effort. You said she's 35. You're 35. She's late 20s, right? And that's okay age gap. It's enough to be interesting, but not enough to get you a visit from Chris Hansen for one of those have a seat moments. So that's okay. But Michelle's writing, I'm thinking wait a bit, maybe another week or something, you know? And I don't disagree with that. It seems like a hot chick showed up on your street corner and all of a sudden you're like shot out of a cannon, okay? But But we do have to talk about the game plan here. And you said, quote, "It's not beneath me to use my daughter to help me pick up women." Kevin, that is not parenting. That is pimping. Okay?
Use your resources.
Well, listen, you're 3 bad decisions away from having your kid wearing sunglasses, holding a 20-fur coat, and calling you Daddy Mac. All right? You need to resist the temptation to do that, okay? Do not make your child your Cyrano de Bergerac.
True.
Because it is not going to go well. All right? Do not send your daughter into this like she's some kind of adorable little spy. She's 7. Her recon skills are garbage. Kids are going to say the wrong thing at the worst time. And you think she's going to casually slip in, "Hey, are you single?" No, bro. It's not going to happen that way. She's going to say, blurt it out right in front of every kid on the bus. Within earshot's going to hear it. "My daddy says you're hot and he smelled good this morning." That's how it's going to come out. Okay? And you're going to look like a psycho. And now you're banned from the school district. Okay? But having said that, confidence is where you need to put your energy, not creepiness.
No.
Okay? At the drop-off or pickup, when the moment feels natural and not forced, maybe you casually say, "Hey, you know what? I always enjoy talking with you. If you're ever free, would you want to grab some coffee sometime?" Simple, direct, respectful. You're inviting her. You're not ambushing her like a feral cat with a Tinder account. Okay? That's how you need to handle this. And then step 3 is, hey, whatever happens, act like a damn man. Okay? If she says yes, congratulations. You just pulled a 10 out of a Ford E-Series with flashing yellow lights. Okay? If she politely declines, keep it classy. You say no problem at all. The next morning you show up smiling, same cologne, same swagger. Because a real man really doesn't let rejection derail the damn school bus of life. Okay? That's kind of how it goes. So, bonus tips, no crazy gestures, no flowers at the bus stop like you're in a Hallmark movie. No holding a boombox blasting The Arms of Orion by Prince and Sheila E. from the Batman motion picture soundtrack at 7 a.m. Unless you want to end up on the neighborhood watch list. And is the juice worth the squeeze? Probably. But don't get so crazy from squeezing it, you turn it into a full-blown lawsuit, okay? So maybe the freak jury doesn't agree with me. I don't know. Cheap viewers on Streambo. Remove the space.
I already deleted it. No, it's a bot.
Honeymoon period. She might turn out to be a total B. Good point. Good point. So, if you have different ideas for Kevin, go ahead and comment. But that's our verdict tonight. And Man Court is adjourned on the Alpha Men Podcast.
Gentlemen, start your engine. He's pressing him for the top spot.
He is out in the outside groove.
Some debris on the back straightaway. His teammates trying to get by him now as they go to...
Holy crap, it was 80 degrees here today. I'm starting to notice that. Freaking wig is hot. Anyway. Talladega, baby.
Dega. It was, I guess, I didn't actually watch it, but there was no big one, which is weird for Talladega.
Well, that's what everybody waits for at Talladega, the big one. Sometimes it happens at the beginning of the race. Sometimes it happens at the end. Sometimes it happens in the middle. Sunday, it didn't happen at all.
Yeah, well, that's good for the teams, but sucking for the fans.
What was it last year? They had the biggest wreck at Talladega in the history of the races there. I think 28 cars.
Yeah,
caught up in it.
That's a lot of cars. That's a nightmare in the garage.
That's like 3/4 of the field.
Oh yeah, easily, because there's an average of 38 to 40. Well, usually Talladega will start 40, 43.
I did know Brad Keselowski, who has a great record at Talladega, had some great qualifying effort, started up front, was running up front, looked like he was going to be there, and then somebody took him out. So
yeah, he got a little smashed up.
What
Austin Cedric won it though.
What a horrible season for Brad Keselowski. I mean,
he gets so close and he falls apart.
Yeah. So, Austin Cindric wins photo finish.
That's the first win for Penske this season.
Impressive drive by Ryan Preece, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, Ryan Preece and Joey Logano. Ryan Preece and Joey Logano got disqualified for, I believe, something with a spoiler.
Post-inspection disqualification.
Yeah.
They found some things they didn't like, and then this weekend it was weird because you couldn't open social media or turn on NASCAR or see it anywhere without seeing this dude Cletus McFarland.
Yeah, Cletus and
Greg Biffle, the Biff, the Biffer,
both of them.
Which it's good to see him, and good to see him in sleeveless shirts. If we learned anything this week, we learned that Greg Biffle is definitely divorced. Because there's no married man who would be allowed to do the things that Greg Biffle did with Cletus McFarland this week at Talladega.
On Dega Boulevard.
Yeah.
You see the convoy of campers they brought, though? They brought a whole convoy of campers.
They bought 3 old campers.
Yeah.
And then they auctioned them off after they got there.
Yeah.
And they drove them all the way to Talladega. And I'm telling you, we'll just say that there was a lot of adult beverages consumed in those campers this weekend.
Talladega? No. So I like to see, there used to be, I got to find it, there used to be a post out, what's left behind a Dega post. You find couches and people's underwear, shirts, cell phones. It's like kind of like going, Dega for the 3 days is like going to a huge Grateful Dead concert or something back in the, there was the phones like that. You know what I'm saying? There was stuff left behind nonstop. Remember the Fish concert in Vermont?
Now, one of the reasons that Greg Biffle was with Cletus McFarland, whose real name is what? Something Mitchell. Garrett Mitchell.
Yeah.
One of the reasons that the Biff was with Cletus McFarland this weekend, and Cletus McFarland, if you don't know, is a YouTuber, and he owns a racetrack called the Freedom Factory. And he doesn't have a lot of racing experience with NASCAR, but he races at his own track all the time. And he competed in the ARCA series this weekend.
Yep.
And Greg was giving him pointers, right? Kind of like a coach. And the dude finished 10th, which is pretty amazing. You know, to not have ever really I think he's run one other ARCA race. And
he raced in the Xfinity Series in Daytona.
He ran the Xfinity race in Daytona. But it's pretty amazing that he's having this kind of success because he really is just some redneck from
ARCA. I was totally
down south. And kudos to him. You know,
he was helping during the flooding we had here after the hurricane.
Yeah, Greg Biffle was.
And Cletus. They both they were both doing helicopters.
I did see that. In North Carolina. Yeah,
I head to Texas tomorrow morning, going down to Dallas. It's supposed to rain. It's very humid there.
1.5-mile track.
Yep.
And it's an oval.
Yep.
And Texas Motor Speedway.
It's supposed to rain all day tomorrow. Beautiful Thursday, rain Friday, beautiful weekend, but it's supposed to be muggier than hell, like 90% humidity.
There you go.
I'm so excited. I'm outside, you know. I'm finally out of the tower. I'm done being up race control until Talladega in the fall, because I'm going to be doing a lot of touring races the rest of the season, ARCA and mods and stuff.
Yeah.
I've requested to do touring over National Series. I'll still do National Series, but I just like the touring. I like the local feeling, the local series races.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've done it. I've been to every track in NASCAR. So I've done the whole thing. So I'm ready to go back to the local series and still work for NASCAR.
There you have it. That's our race recap this week on the Alpha Men podcast.
Who needs a foot in the ass? The Alpha Men Podcast presents
my foot into this thing called your ass.
The Red Foreman Awards.
You dumbass.
All right, you magnificent meatheads. Welcome to the Red Foreman Awards, the award show where screwing up so badly actually gets you a shiny trophy and not just a size 12 boot up your backside. Tonight we're handing out the prestigious Golden Foremans honoring the finest dumbassery this side of Deer Camp, all in the name of the ultimate king of no-nonsense, Red Foreman from that 70s show. So crack a cold one, scratch yourself somewhere inappropriate, and let's celebrate the kind of brainless brilliance that would make your old man nod silently in approval before telling you you're an idiot. All right? Stupidity, it's got on its Sunday's best tonight. So let's get after it. First up, the alcohol was definitely involved. Gold Star Golden Foreman tonight. And it goes to Caitlin Dye, the pride of the U.S. Postal Service. Because nothing says mistake quite like trying to fight a mailbox while double fisting a White Claw. Yes, this 33-year-old legend thought it would be a brilliant idea to pull a shift while 3 shots deep. And by shift, I mean a drunken demolition derby in a federally issued mail truck.
Oh, she's screwed.
Witnesses spotted her cruising the wrong damn way down the road, tossing plastic cups out a window like she was some jacked up parade. Oh, and bonus points, the truck was swerving like a drunk uncle at a wedding and making U-turns that would make a NASCAR pit crew weep. Cops finally pulled her over, and surprise, surprise, she looked like she just woke up in the bottom of a beer cooler. Failed the old touch your nose test in record time. And when the cop asked if she'd been drinking, Caitlin honestly said, "Yeah, I got invited to a house party on my route and had 2, maybe 3 shots of vodka. 2 shots. Based on your driving skills, honey, either you're a lightweight or you forgot to mention the other 12. Okay. Needless to say, she did get a free ride to jail. Next up, a Golden Red Foreman and a Backyard Fire Starter Hall of Shame induction. Congratulations to 37-year-old Harry Torres of upstate New York. This future Mensa member managed to set off a 3-alarm fire. No, not with fireworks, not with a grill, but by lighting his sex toys on fire in his backyard. Yes, you heard me. His adult sex toys. We got a 4-alarm fire going in the backyard, and when the smoke cleared, half the block looked like Fallujah. Harry proudly told investigators, "Yeah, I started the fire. I torched my sex toys." Now, no one's real clear on why Harry decided to commit carnal arson, but it didn't end well. 3 homes toasted, several cars roasted, and an 87-year-old lady had to bail out like it was D-Day. Harry's now facing charges of arson, reckless endangerment. The moral of the story, don't play backyard bonfires with your plastic girlfriend, fellas. Okay?
Just put it to the curb.
They don't break your heart. They burn down your damn neighborhood. Okay?
Even the fake ones destroy all your property.
Coming in hot, the Party Fouls and Pit Maneuvers Red Foreman Award goes to Richard Christopher Smith of Miami, Florida this week. Now, Richard thought shoplifting booze from the Spring Lane Market was just a warm-up act. Oh, no, this Miami brain surgeon decided to take it to level 10 stupidity by hopping into a black minivan and driving in circles around the store like he was auditioning for the Redneck Indy 500. When deputies showed up, he tore out, but not before rolling down the window mid-chase and sticking a can of Kettle One vodka spritz out and offering it to the cop. Hey, man, I was just trying to give you a drink. That's right. The old bribe them with booze defense. Bold strategy, Cotton. Not impressed. The cops flattened all 4 of his tires with spike strips, but he still tried to ram 2 patrol cars before finally getting himself tased into next week and then slammed on the pavement. So, congratulations, Richard. You're now and bad life choices.
Dumbass.
And now for the Hold My Beer Lifetime Achievement Golden Foreman Award. And the envelope, please. It goes to Florida resident LaTrance Battle. Okay. Our Lady LaTrance this week thought the best way to win back her man, impersonate an ICE agent, and kidnap his new wife. That's not psychotic at all, is it?
She's clearly a lunatic.
You just did what you or I would do.
Why?
She rolled up wearing a black shirt labeled, flashed a fake sheriff's office business card, and carried a handheld radio. Basically everything but attention. The poor victim, who's in the process of becoming a legal U.S. resident, believed her, hopped in her car, and the next thing you know, they're speeding away from the intended destination like a low-budget Fast and Furious remake. The victim somehow managed to Houdini her way out, called the real cops, and LaTrance, she then tried to run to Alabama because nothing screams I'm innocent like a high-speed sprint across state lines wearing fake federal gear.
She's clearly a lunatic.
She is now facing a beautiful bingo card of charges: kidnapping, robbery, impersonating a law enforcement officer, and probation violations.
Oh, Jesus.
There you have it, another proud batch of Golden Foreman winners, living proof that natural selection is alive and well and stuck in second gear. Okay?
Dumbass.
That's the Red Foreman Awards this week on the Alpha Men Podcast.
Wow.
Is it fact or is it crap on the Alpha Men Podcast?
All righty. Fact or crap tonight. Baby Huey's going to play. You can help him out by commenting wherever you may be viewing tonight. You can help him with the answer. His goal is to get better than 70. So his 70's a C. That's passing, right?
I'm pretty consistent on the 70. I haven't failed one yet.
10 questions on the board. Fact or crap. Question number 1. A teaspoon of a neutron star would weigh about 6 billion tons. Fact or crap?
I don't know the exact number, but that's fact. I know it's a big number.
That is correct. Yes, neutron stars, incredibly dense, enormous mass, tiny volume. Correct. Question number 2. Lightning always strikes in the same place. Fact or crap?
Crap.
That is correct. Tall structures
Like-
like skyscrapers are frequent targets, but it doesn't always strike in the same spot. All right. Question number 3. Tomatoes, most consumed fruit in the world. Tomatoes are the most consumed fruit in the world.
Whew.
Fact or crap?
Based on what age group?
No age group.
Because my kids will eat the hell out of a banana. I'm gonna go fact because I think of like salsas and pastas and fact.
That is correct. Botanically, tomatoes are classified as a fruit.
Yep.
You wouldn't think that. You would think a vegetable. And they are the most widely consumed worldwide.
Yeah, I figure because all that stuff we use tomatoes for.
Man, you're knocking it out of the park here this week.
Well, the easy one so far.
Number 5. The sun is a planet. Fact or crap?
It's crap. It's not a planet.
That is correct. The sun is a star.
Yep.
Composed mostly of hydrogen and helium gas.
Because we'd have 10 planets in our solar system if that was the case.
Okay, number 6. We're going to get harder here. Some jellyfish can revert to an earlier stage of their life after becoming adults. Fact or crap?
This one I have no clue. Sounds like something. I don't know. I'm going to... Fact. I'm just guessing on this one.
That is correct. The Turritopsis doherty jellyfish can transform back into its juvenile form, effectively achieving biological immortality.
So it could keep doing that forever.
Yep.
Wow. That's cool.
I think we need to start studying the jellyfish.
No, we can't have us here forever. You know how many assholes on the planet is?
Yeah. All right. Single strand of human hair can support up to 100 grams. Fact or crap?
One single piece of hair.
A single strand of human hair can support up to 100 grams.
100 grams ain't too much. Tensile strength.
Man, if you run the table on this, I'm gonna
say it's a fact because the hair has a good strength, a single strand. We pop it. So yeah, I'm gonna go fact.
That is correct.
2 guesses so far.
Human hair incredibly strong relative to its size and can support a surprising amount of weight.
I kind of figure. I feel like when I've popped hair apart before, and yeah.
There's no way I'm getting this one. No.
I know a lot about penguins. My favorite animal.
Penguins live at both the North and South Poles. Fact.
Crap.
Oh.
I know a lot about penguins. They're my favorite animal.
That is correct.
I knew that one. Everybody thinks
penguins
they're
are native.
South.
Penguins are native to the southern hemisphere only, especially Antarctica, not the North Pole.
Nope.
I really thought I had him on that one.
No.
The Sahara Desert was once a lush green area. Fact or crap?
That would be true. Fact.
Yes. Thousands of years ago.
Your questions are easy so far.
The Sahara was covered in grasslands and lakes before climate changes turned it into a desert. Sounds like it wasn't those evil SUVs. Right?
True.
Huh.
I don't think we had SUVs back then, though.
I don't think so. Not thousands of years ago. No. So, questions number 9. The Mona Lisa has no eyebrows. Fact or crap?
That's a fact. I've had 9. I've got them all right so far.
I don't believe this.
These questions ain't that bad. I've only had 2 that.
That is fact. It's believed that Leonardo da Vinci never finished them, or they faded away over time. But she does not have eyebrows. Final question. Horses can breathe through their mouths like humans. Fact or crap?
Oh, I have no clue on this one.
9 out of 10. Last question.
I'm trying to hear a horse breathe. I'm gonna say no. Crap.
Freaking believable.
I got all of it.
Horses are obligate nose breathers only, meaning they can only breathe through their noses. So there you have it. 10 out of 10. That is crazy. That's the best score you've ever gotten. And it's also factor crap tonight. on the Alpha Men podcast.
Alpha Men Podcast is proudly sponsored by Ohana Sports Cards, where you will find awesome card breaks from baseball, football, racing, basketball, and much more. They will treat you like family at Ohana Sports Cards. You can find them on Facebook for all your sports card breaks, card consignments, and even grading sports card service. Check them out on Facebook at Ohana Sports Cards.
The Alpha Men on Sports, a segment we call Your Team Sucks.
Yeah, we just kind of call it like it is because someone has to, and your mom's still busy knitting you a participation trophy. So, yeah. This week, the NFL draft happened. Let me tell you, by the time the mess ended, some teams already looked like they were like prepping for the 2032 draft. I mean, we need to break it down. First up, the New York Giants. The ink wasn't even dry on the final draft card before the Giants were already mathematically eliminated for next year's season. I mean, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Takes real talent to lose before the season even starts. But congratulations, Giants fans. Grab a cold beer and a paper bag. You're gonna need both by week 3.
Maybe if they took Deion's boy, might have a shot.
Yeah, I don't know. Meanwhile, over in Tennessee, the Titans drafted Cam Ward. Kid's rocking the number 1 jersey. Fitting because that's the number of the games that they're going to win this year. 1. By the way, number 2 jersey already reserved for what the Titans games look like on Sunday. Let's just say if you're tailgating at Titans games, bring extra beer. You're going to need something to cry into by halftime. And, of course, the big story this week was Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur, yeah.
Son of prime time himself, Deion Sanders, was supposed to be the second coming of Joe Montana, Michael Vick, and Captain America rolled into one. And instead, he sat around the draft like a lonely prom date, finally getting picked after the 5th round by whom? Yes, the folks behind the House of Pain, the Cleveland Browns. Factory of Sadness, sorry. Yeah.
Yes.
Even the Browns, think about this for a second. Even the Browns looked at him 6 different times and said, we good.
Even the Browns, that's true.
All right. When the Factory of Sadness thinks you're a risk, you might want to call a career counselor. I'm just saying. But it gets bigger with Shedeur sitting around getting ghosted harder than chubby dude on Tinder. He gets a call from someone claiming to be the Saints GM.
Oh, I know. I saw that. That was harsh.
And they tell him, hey, bud, we're about to pick you. Just hang tight. Turns out it was a prank call from some 21-year-old kid who is the son of the Falcons' defensive coordinator, no less. Nothing says future leader of men like prank calling draft prospects while daddy's drawing up blitz packages.
And that's where Deion got his start, was the Falcons.
Yeah.
Or the end.
The kid apologized on social media. But let's be real. If you get tricked during the most important moment of your life and it's by a coach's spoiled brat, you deserve a free punch and a shot of whiskey minimum. So I feel bad for Shedeur. I mean, that's a moment where it's supposed to be, the biggest moment of your life. Yeah. So, in any case, winners and losers. Winner, believe it or not, I'm going to say Shedeur Sanders. Yes, he fell harder than a fat guy on roller skates. But he still got a shot at starting for the Browns because Joe Flacco's 40.
Yep.
And about as mobile as a cement truck. Just saying. The Jaguars, they pulled a draft day heist so clean it should be illegal. They scored Travis Hunter after some front office wizardry. Somewhere Urban Meyer is crying into a bucket of Hooters wings. And Cam Ward is a winner, obviously. Went first overall to the Titans. Even got blessed by Warren Moon himself to wear the number 1 jersey. So let's hope he brings some dignity back to Tennessee football, because right now they're about as dangerous as a butter knife in a gunfight. So,
and Tennessee used to be the Oilers.
Yeah.
The Oilers was Warren Moon.
Yes. Losers, I'm going to say Shedeur Sanders again. Sliding to the 5th round cost him about $13 million.
Yeah.
All right. So you lost enough money to buy your own football team, or at least the Panthers. The Browns managed to take 2 quarterbacks and 2 running backs in the first 5 rounds. Because if you're that bad, you just draft everything with a pulse, and you hope one sticks. Cleveland's draft board must have just said yes and maybe in crayon.
Anybody.
I don't know. And the other big loser was Quinn Ewers. Texas QB waited 3 days, got drafted after 2 kickers and a punter. If that doesn't tell you where your career's headed, nothing will. At this point, Quinn's lucky if his jersey makes it into the team shop, and that's all there is. But after watching the draft, it got me thinking, do you know how many really great NFL players didn't make the draft? Top 10 undrafted badasses. Kurt Warner.
Huh. That's right.
Yep. Never made the draft. Warren Moon. Never made the draft. Antonio Gates. Never made the draft.
No shit.
Pittsburgh Steeler James Harrison. Never made the draft. John Randall. Never made the draft. Rod Smith. Priest Holmes. No draft. Tony Romo.
Yeah.
Never made the draft. Kicker. Adam Vinatieri. Never made the draft. And Dick Night Train Lane. And listen, when you got a name like Dick Night Train Lane, now you got to be pretty good, but never made the draft.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty crazy.
Finally tonight, a word from our favorite grumpy football sensei, Bill Belichick. I don't know if you watched the CBS interview.
Saw bits and pieces of it.
He went to pimp his new book, The Art of Winning, and maybe slip in a few plays for an upcoming shuffleboard league or something. I don't know. But when asked about his 24-year-old girlfriend, Bill's PR team, a.k.a. his 24-year-old girlfriend herself, cut that question off quicker than a Tinder date realizing you drive a 2002 Corolla. When asked how they met, she's sitting behind him and just interrupts. We're not talking about that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Now,
here's
the deal. He's 73. She's 24. They asked him about his Instagram pics, and he looked like someone just asked him to do calculus with a pork chop. Okay. He has no idea what Instagram even is.
No.
So, I don't know. We got to give him props, but you got to believe this can't last long.
I mean, his sweatshirt's older than she is.
Yeah, I know. That's Your Team Sucks. The Alphabet on Sports tonight on the Alphabet Podcast.
Alphabet Podcast salutes Hidden Heroes.
Hidden Heroes time, where we salute regular guys, just average Joes who pull off epic feats without capes or tights or a stunt double, just real dudes stepping up when the chips are down, sometimes quite literally. And this week our hidden hero is Kevin Smith. No, not Kevin Smith of Clerks or Kevin Smith of the movies. It's Kevin Smith of Spokane, Washington. He's a firefighter out there in the Evergreen State, and he wasn't even on duty. It wasn't even in Washington. But he was, in fact, on vacation in Mexico with his family last week. The captain from the Spokane Fire Department was having a beachside breakfast with his family when he noticed a mother and her 2 small children had been washed out to sea. Now, bystanders were able to help the woman and one of her children. Meanwhile, the second child drifted further and further away from the shoreline. That's when Captain Kevin dove into the rough surf, battled the undertow to save the other child. And the Spokane Fire Department this week shared the story on their social media page, praising him for his brave and selfless act that likely saved the child's life. So
nice.
We're now sharing it here. Congratulations, Captain Kevin Smith of the Spokane, Washington Fire Department. You're our hidden hero this week on the Alpha Men Podcast.
Good job, boss.
Let's go!
Last call. It's closing time.
All right, fellas. Last call. We grab one more story back and wonder what the hell is happening to America.
Yeah, I said this earlier.
Is Walmart locking up their meat? Yes, that's right, meat. Slabs of beef. The stuff real men throw on the grill, not kale salad stuff. Meat. Videos popping up online of Walmart shoppers losing their minds because the steaks, the roasts, the ribs now under lock and key like they're the crown jewels or something. And we're not talking about putting them behind bulletproof glass or anything, but each juicy T-bone is now tucked into a tiny little wire cage.
Yep.
Like it's Hannibal Lecter at a backyard barbecue. One guy in the video said it best. You know it's bad when they put miniature prison gates on your porterhouse. Another shopper stood there staring at the steaks behind bars like they were lost relatives, shaking his head and muttering, "You got to be kidding me, man. Locked up meat? We're done, bro. We're done." Naturally, a few colorful 4-letter words sprinkled in, too, because American outrage, like profanity in the frozen food aisle, is a necessity. Now, to be fair, some Walmarts have been pulling the stunt for a couple of years now, mostly in places where the old 5-finger discount is basically a hobby. But seeing it happen into God's own food, meat, that's a new low. First it was razors, then laundry detergent, deodorant, baby formula. Now we've reached DEFCON 1, meat security. If they start putting padlocks on bacon next, I'm storming the front office with a torch and a pack of angry grill dads are going to be behind me. I know they will. It's crazy.
It is insane. You see a lot of stuff locked up. You're just like, what in the hell? Why?
Of course, Walmart hasn't commented yet because nothing says we love our customers like treating your steak like it's a parolee with an ankle monitor. But it's the world we live in.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it for last call. And if you need me, I'll be building the smoker in the backyard and setting up a steel break operation for a rack of ribs.
I'll bring the New York steak.
We'll see you next Tuesday night. Take care.
Night all.
And that's a wrap. We hope you've had as much fun as we've had here at the Alpha Men Podcast. Remember, our advice might not solve your problems, but it surely will make them funnier. Before we bid you adieu, a big old thanks to our loyal pack of Alpha viewers. You all are the real MVPs, keeping us company on a roller coaster of a podcast ride. And thanks
Ohana Sports Cards on Facebook
and Garage Door Commander. Join us live Tuesday nights at 8. Visit alphamenpodcast.com and the Alpha Men store. Until next time, keep your feet in the gas. It's a checkers or wreckers world.
Put up or shut up.